Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Today I'm reading an article from the Crisis News Network regarding Trevor Milton's business history and it doesn't paint a very pretty picture. For those of you who've been following the Nikola Motors saga, probably won't be surprised to hear that Trevor Milton's dealing with business partners in the past has left at least a few of them, allegedly, a little bit less than happy with the final outcome. So, let's read through this article. I'll add a few comments where I think it's relevant, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have an even clearer picture of what Nikola Motors may in fact be, allegedly. And as always, I've got to throw this out there. Everything I say in this video is my opinion only. Please do your own research. I may have in fact made up the entire thing. I may have fabricated this article. In fact, this entire video may be an intricate web of lies built up on fraud and deception. See what I did there? Let's get into the video. Not first. Hey guys, if you live in the US and would like up to 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600 each, use the link in the description to WeBull and deposit $100 in your account. Each of these stocks will be a minimum of $8 in value, so if you suck at math, that is a 16% ROI on your $100. Not bad. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it. For Trevor Milton's business partners, warning signs emerged years before Nikola downfall. Nevada businessman Glenn Pills was excited to be buying a business in 2006 from Trevor Milton. Milton seemed like a good guy, Pills said. He recalled Milton telling him he was paying for someone's education in Brazil. Boy oh boy, that sounds like a noble act by Trevor Milton. Isn't that amazing? What a great guy. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of commentary here, guys. First and foremost, I just want to warn anybody who's ever fallen for a scam. If you're easily offended, for a little bit of a snowflake, this is a really good time to stop watching this video because I'm guaranteed to offend a few of you severely in the following moments, okay? Ready? If you're still here, don't say I didn't warn you. When I began looking into Nikola Motor Corporation after seeing so many red flags I couldn't not, I also looked into the background of its founder, Trevor Milton. I learned that in his youth, he was part of a cult, also known as the Church of Latter-day Saints. In fact, he was a door-to-door salesman selling this scam. In fact, he did this for over a year on his mission, or whatever the fuck it's called. Part of this involved going to Brazil, learning how to speak Portuguese, and selling this scam to innocent, unsuspecting Brazilians. Oh, wait a minute. Trevor was paying for somebody's education in Brazil. Was he? What kind of education? You mean indoctrination? Now, I'm not sure about this, but I might have a funny feeling, again, this is pure speculation, but was Trevor Milton paying for somebody's education out of the goodness of his heart or out of the requirements of the cult he is a member of, / was a member of? So I'm not talking about Nikola, although there's some parallels there too. Anyway, let's move on. I just wanted to put that out there. While Trevor's going there presenting himself as this good guy paying for somebody's education in Brazil, if we dig beneath the surface, again, my speculation here is that he wasn't doing this out of the goodness of his heart, but out of an obligation to the scam he's part of. Now guys, I don't bring this out as an opportunity to rip on religion. I mean, I'm happy to do that 24/7 anyway, but this isn't the place. There's actually a reason why I bring this up. You see, Trevor Milton, it appears, especially by what's in this article as we'll read on, has a track record of selling horse shit to people who buy the horse shit that he sells to them, even if the horse shit that they're being sold is horse shit and they think it's not horse shit. You know what I'm saying? So, keep that in mind as we continue on this article. But soon, the business became a disaster, as Pills recalled to CNN Business. He said he's speaking out now to protect others from a similar fate. I'm not going to sit here and whine and say Trevor ruined my life. Did he ruin a section of my life? Yeah, Pills said. But did I have my family through all that? Yeah. Did it suck? Did it hurt? Was I mad? Yeah. The books were not the way they said they were, Pills added. That seems like very clear deception on Trevor Milton's part, if these allegations are true. Looking back on the deal today, Pills wishes he'd bought a different company. Pills said he faced 2 home foreclosures after the business didn't live up to projected financial returns. CNN Business verified the foreclosures through public records. Now I'm just going to take a quick break here to point something out. This guy has taken things very well to say Trevor Milton didn't ruin my life, just a part of it, after the poor guy buys this turd from Trevor, gets sold a bunch of BS, allegedly, you know, all sorts of BS just to get the deal through, doesn't live up to expectations, and the guy has 2 home foreclosures as a result, loses 2 homes because he bought this turd off Trevor Milton. Allegedly. Pills said he lost the $300,000 down payment he invested after buying a company from the man later known for founding and then resigning from, allegedly, Nikola Motors, the electric truck manufacturer. And again, I'm going to use the word allegedly for electric truck manufacturer because as far as I know, they haven't manufactured anything yet. Pills said he took every dollar from his 401k and savings account to buy St. George Security and Alarms, an alarm system dealership in St. George, Utah. Milton was 22 years old when he registered the company in 2004, according to Utah Public Records. It would be the first of 5 businesses that would launch his journey from high school dropout to billionaire founder, who resigned in September amid controversy and allegations of wrongdoing, including, I'm about to break from script here and read my words, not the articles, being a predatory creep, which he denies. I mean, obviously, Trevor's then 17-year-old cousin simply made up the tale of what went down at their grandfather's funeral, and Trevor's then 15-year-old employee clearly made up the story about what went down in their office as well. Obviously, they're just allegations. These women obviously just want Trevor's money. There's no grain of truth in that whatsoever. Alright, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. There's a link in the description to the full article which I recommend you guys reading for a thorough understanding. I'm just going over some of the highlights and adding my opinions and thoughts where I think it's relevant. CNN Business spoke with 6 people who said they either invested in or did business with Milton before Nikola made him a billionaire. These individuals' investments, collectively totaling more than $455,000, span 4 years and 4 companies. They said Milton was a skilled salesman. Remember my earlier points? But they soon found him hard to trust given a tendency to exaggerate and not follow through on promises. Wow, painting an interesting picture of this man, isn't it? Some had questions about his character and integrity. Now, I'm just going to speculate here, but I have a funny feeling that what the reporter has reported here and the words that were spoken about Trevor Milton, while they align, I think they may have been a little bit muted in their conveyance of what these individuals had to say about Trevor. Pure speculation. Of course, I'm happy to share my unfiltered opinion about Trevor. My read on the guy is this. I personally believe that Trevor Milton is a sociopathic, pathologically lying, narcissistic, valueless, moralless, integrityless, filthy piece of shit of a human who will do anything, crush anyone, injure, maim, kill, destroy anyone, anything in between him and what he wants. Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think about Trevor Milton? How do you read the guy? Is he somebody whose values and integrity you question? 2 people said they invested tens of thousands of dollars but claimed they never received the stock certificates they were owed to formalize their investment. One investor said they'd already filed a complaint with a regulatory body and another said they're in the process of doing so. Pills, who purchased the company outright from Milton rather than investing in a startup, claimed Milton misrepresented revenue and expense information prior to the sale. Fancy that. Pills, as well as other investors in Milton's companies, alleged that Milton's treatment of them transformed once the deal was closed. The investors agreed to speak on the condition of not being identified given their concerns about retribution from Milton, such as legal action. Just jumping in here, that wouldn't surprise me. The guys have been threatening litigation against everybody who even asks a fucking question about him. After finalizing the deal, Pills recalled Milton telling him to call if he needed anything, but shortly after, problems emerged, Pills said. Installation equipment that was included in the contract, like ladders, didn't exist, he claimed. When he took a closer look at the books, more issues arose. Pills claimed that accounts receivable, essentially future sales, which were supposed to be guaranteed, turned out to be estimates provided to customers or sales that had already been paid. In at least 3 months, Pills said he had to foot the bill for $10,000 in chargebacks as customers exited deals that had been agreed to when Milton owned the business. Anyone getting deja vu? There were also odd expenses that Milton had not disclosed, Pills said. For example, Pills claims he was expected to pay one employee's rent. Pills said he didn't want to lose the employees, so he agreed to follow through on what he said was an agreement the employee had with Milton. Pills said that some employees didn't have relevant licenses and Pills paid for them to get those licenses. You kept running into more and more things, Pills said. If it was just one of them, it's not a big deal, but when happening, you're like, man, this is a disaster. Pills said that Milton was so hard to get a hold of that he stopped trying to call for help. In 2008, a Utah inventor of a hybrid fuel system that blended diesel and natural gas in trucks advertised his products to consumers. In 2009, the inventor was approached by Milton and they agreed to work together, according to a document viewed by CNN Business. In a meeting in late November 2009, Milton had illustrations made of a newer hybrid fuel system from the inventor for a patent application, according to a person with knowledge to the meeting. Milton incorporated D-Hybrid, a company that developed and designed hybrid fuel systems, on November 25, 2009, according to Nevada Public Records. The day before, he'd issued himself 1 million shares in D-Hybrid, according to a copy of a stock certificate viewed by CNN Business. It was Milton, not the inventor himself, who was listed as the inventor on the provisional patent application filed after the meeting, according to a document viewed by CNN Business. The inventor was later listed on a 2010 application. Now, this is kind of messed up, but let's continue. In October 2012, Milton's father Bill organized a new business with a similar name and goals to D-Hybrid, calling it D-Hybrid Systems LLC, a company that develops, installs and sells fuel systems, according to public records viewed by CNN Business. Trevor Milton has described himself as D-Hybrid Systems CEO and founder on his LinkedIn page. Didn't they just say his dad founded the... Anyway, let's move on. The Utah inventor was never involved in the new company, according to two people with knowledge of the situation. The Utah inventor was also not listed on 6 patents that include D-Hybrid systems applied for between 2013 and 2016. According to patent applications filed with the USS Patent and Trademark Office, Milton was listed as an inventor on all of the patent applications, along with colleagues. Milton, who has said he dropped out of high school and college, lacked engineering expertise, according to 2 former D-Hybrid Systems employees who agreed to speak to CNN Business on the condition of not being named out of concern for facing litigation from Milton. Fancy that. Once again, people are scared to speak out because of this litigious person by the name of Trevor Milton, allegedly. The former employees said that Milton would ask them to install the fuel system on trucks in ways they believed was not safe or structurally sound. They said they objected to drilling holes in the truck's frame closer than rules allowed, or routing a truck's gas line so close to an exhaust pipe that it could create heat risks. They felt his requests weren't the result of trying to do something wrong, but lacking the knowledge to know better. What he was suggesting was asinine to the most basic diesel tech, one of the employees said. In October 2014, D-Hybrid Systems was acquired by an Ohio company, Worthington Industries. Following the sale, a D-Hybrid investor told CNN Business they were excited about the sale and called up Milton to congratulate him and ask how much their shares were now worth. The investor did not know that D-Hybrid and D-Hybrid Systems were 2 separate companies. The person alleged that on that call, Milton told them he actually had invested in Lexon Industries, a different company also owned by Milton, which Milton claimed had nothing to do with D-Hybrid Systems. Because of this, Milton allegedly told the investor that he was owed no money from D-Hybrid Systems' sale, which was registered as a separate company. The investor said no red flags were raised during the initial investment process because people they trusted had referred them to Milton and their guard was down. The investor said it was their first business investment and they wished they'd done more due diligence. I tell you what, I bet there's going to be a lot of Nikola stock investors wishing they did more due diligence too, in my opinion. This article is not painting a very pretty picture around Trevor Milton, is it? Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here with some wild, crazy speculation. You guys let me know in the comments below if you think there's any truth in this, but what if most of the people early on who were willing to invest in Trevor Milton, so to speak, were actually members of the Church of Latter-day Saints, sharing the same religious belief, some similar cultural values, and deciding, let's help this guy out, he's one of us, I don't really need to investigate too much, he seems legit, here's some money Trevor, good on you man. You think that's possible? Maybe that's one of the bridges that people were willing to cross without doing enough research, checking it was safe, because you know what, he's one of us, let's just help the guy out. The investor's conversation with Milton regarding the D-Hybrid System sale added to years of frustration with getting proof of their shares, the person said. CNN Business also viewed an online exchange from 2013 in which the person asked Milton about when they would receive the stock certificates in D-Hybrid, and Milton said he was working it out. Another person described to CNN Business that they had invested $40,000 in Milton's companies in 2010, including D-Hybrid and U-Pillar, a classifieds website that had launched in 2009. The investors said they didn't feel they had any reason to doubt Milton's claim and that they weren't familiar with website traffic or know how to find such data. The investors said they hadn't invested in a business before but trusted the people that referred them to Milton. Looking back, the investors said they hadn't done enough due diligence. The investor said they never received the stock certificates Milton agreed to grant them and got the runaround when asking for them. They'd never received any money back from Milton, the investors said, and that it's been vindicating to watch Milton's negative turn in the spotlight. You do people dirty for so long and it's going to catch up to you, the investor said. Bill Hansen, who said he invested $100,000 in Milton's alarm company before Pills bought it, described Milton as a phenomenal salesman who told people what they wanted to hear. Shout out to all the Nikola investors right now. Hansen said that soon after he invested, he realized Milton's plans for expanding the business with the summer door-knocking program weren't going to succeed. Hansen said he left the deal and got back from Milton about as much as he put in. He'll tell you whatever sounds good enough to get you in the door, Hansen said. Nikola is where it is because of him. How do you discount that? Was it all true? Probably not. But are all sales stories true? The 100% truth isn't a great story. Now, is it just me, or is this Trevor Milton guy a serious piece of work? Allegedly. Do your own research. If it wasn't enough to see the 4 trillion red flags in Nikola Corporation, this article, these allegations, seem to paint a picture of a man whose entire professional career has been built upon lies, deception, over-promising and under-delivering. Not a good look. Now, is it really a surprise that all of these women and now these previous business partners and investors are coming out of the woodwork talking under the protection of anonymity because they're fearful of legal retribution from this highly ethical, honourable man by the name of Trevor Milton? And with Trevor Milton's professional and personal reputation in tatters, I'm going to leave you guys with a quote from the man himself, Trevor Milton. "Cowards run, leaders stay and fight." So the question I pose to Trevor Milton is, since he seems to have run, deleted his Twitter account, deleted his Instagram account, completely disappeared from social media, completely disappeared from the media, and voluntarily stepped down as executive chairman and is no longer a part of Nikola, the question I ask to Trevor is, are you a coward or a leader? Why are you not fighting these allegations? And by fighting these allegations, I don't mean threatening people with litigation, trying to silence them or scare them into disappearance. I'm asking the question, where are you, my man? Surely you can refute these claims if they're untrue. No need to threaten people with libel lawsuits. Just come and tell the truth. Provide evidence that what they're saying is inaccurate. It's as simple as that, mate. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and stake using the links below. Open a new WeBull account, deposit $100 and you'll get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600. And stake, spin the roulette wheel, you'll either get Nike, GoPro or Dropbox. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.